All right, I want to touch on this record player a little bit more in depth right now, just focusing on this. And I do apologize for my neighbor's lawnmower. It's Sunday, and he's mowing the grass, which is fine, but you're going to have a little bit of a lawnmower noise in the background. All right, so I've really had a lot of fun and a lot of aggravation at the same time trying to get this thing to work properly, and I almost want to go over some of the things that I've had to deal with on this turntable personally. The first thing I had to do is this lever sits on this pin right here. Okay, there's a pin in there, and this is plastic, and it was just freely spinning on that pin, so that this lever was just floating freely. Okay, so what I did was I put some glue on there and glued it in. Now don't freak out because it gets covered up. This comes off. It just pops right off. And there's also, I'll show you, there's a screw down here. There's a fine adjustment screw here for your starting and stopping mechanism here, that you need a little screwdriver to get in there and do an adjustment on that. Now underneath of here, this lever, there's like a metal bar and a pin, okay? And I noticed on this turntable that it wasn't engaged, okay? So I had to get under there and make sure that they were connected together, okay? So for just over the years, people moving it around, whatever, somebody maybe working on it, didn't know what they were doing. So I had to reconnect that, glue it back together, and I had to take a screwdriver and do an adjustment here, okay? And then back here, there's another screw, okay, right here. This screw is the adjustment for your up and down and in and out on your tone arm. This thing needs to be loose. If this is tight, it's not going to work properly, so this has to be loose. And then down inside of here, there's a hole right here. You can stick your screwdriver down in there, and you can adjust. There's a cam, okay? What it is a cam, and what it does is it helps adjust the precise positioning of the needle on the starting point and the end point on the dead wax. Okay, so I had to do all kinds of adjustments. Now, there's a Studer pipple in here. You have to replace that Studer pipple. You have to replace your belt. You have to put a new belt on your turntable. That way it engages onto the motor properly. You have to replace the Studer pipple, okay, so that it'll engage the mechanism properly. You have to replace those things. And then there's a pin for the tone arm that gives it the right starting position. Now I noticed on my pin, for whatever reason, it was going too far. The starting point was going too far. So what I did was I took a razor blade, and I had this little plastic syringe. I took the tip of it off, and I slid it over top of the pin. That way it would change the position of the starting point on the dead wax. And there is not a whole lot. This is a great record. There's not a whole lot of dead wax on this record. So it has to hit it precisely in order to play the record. I had to replace the cartridge on it. I had another cartridge. It's a Pickering, I think V15 cartridge. It's a nice little cartridge. The cartridge that was on it was a Shure M91 ED, and there is no needle left on that thing. It's just a nub, and I didn't really want to buy another stylus, so I had that one. So I went ahead and I put it on. So I'm going to give you a little demo. Just push that over, hit to the starting position. It's going to drop the record. And it's going to start it at the precise position. Right there. You can hear there's no music playing. It's right on the record perfectly. Pretty little turntable. I would encourage you. If you're a stereo guy, these are fun. I paid $10 for it, and I think I dig them. I think they got a nice look to them, man. This is metal. This is plastic. This is like that. The old. I don't know if it's wood or laminated stuff or whatever. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a nice looking turntable. So it plays. Sounds really nice. So yeah, it plays, sounds wonderful. Then let's just go ahead and move it over here to the dead wax. And it's going to get to the dead wax here to the end of the record, and it's going to automatically lift it, go back to the starting position, drop the toad arm, and shut the turntable off. I mean, I love it, man. It's like, really proud of myself. Now, I've tried multiple records, and it does work. It stacks. You can stack records, and it'll drop, and it doesn't drop all the records. It's pretty solid. I don't know if this thing's seen a lot of use over the time, but the motor seems really solid, and everything's nice and sharp on it. So, yeah. So I kind of wanted to go over that with you. If you ever just buy one of these and you want to try to adjust it, I did have to do a little bit of fine adjusting on the cam here. It didn't seem like it wanted to return, so I put it in there, and I did a little bit of adjusting on the cam back there, man, and you can see she's working perfect, probably like the day she was brand new. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you and show you what I did. And put this cover back on. Okay, don't freak out. There's a cover. It just snaps on there. It hides all the screw and that little bit of glue that I put in there. She is a pretty little turntable. I'm going to enjoy her for quite some time. Alright, thanks for hanging out, guys.